What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Book Off and we'll be checking out what they have. Hopefully they have some good stuff, and I think it'll be a good day because I haven't been to Book Off in a while. This is the Gardena location, so yeah, they usually have some pretty good stuff, and we got some money to spend, so let's see what they have. Oh, and before I forget, for the question of the day, do you like manga or anime better? Which one do you prefer? Me personally, I do like anime, but manga is a lot easier to just whip out and read than it is to watch a whole 20-minute episode of anime. So I don't know, I find myself jumping between the two, so I'm just curious to see what y'all prefer. All right, I'll see you in Book Off in just a second. So we're gonna do things a little different today. We're gonna do a voiceover because one, I've been wanting to try the voiceover to see how you guys like it, and two, they were playing a bunch of copyrighted music and there was a lot of people in this Book Off, so yeah, I think it's a win-win situation. Let me know what you think of the voiceover. But as you can see, we made it to the manga section, and they actually expanded this manga section, which is really cool. It used to just be one side of a bookshelf, but now it's like two sides, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, they had some High Score Girl. They also had some Hell's Paradise, which I did read, but I wasn't the biggest fan of. And as you can see, I did have some trouble putting the book back. They also had some Hunter x Hunter and some Happiness on the shelves there too. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to read those series, but maybe I will. They had some Horror Me on the shelf as well. And they had some ID Invaded and Inuyasha. For ID Invaded, I do need to read that manga because it's the continuation of the anime. And I did really like the anime. It was like an 8 out of 10, I think. It was a really interesting premise, and I think they did a solid job on it. They also had some Inspector, which y'all know I don't really like Inspector. I'm not the biggest fan of. And they had a bunch of the Danmachi spin-off, as well as the main light novel series. And I don't blame them because Danmachi is pretty popular. I do know that in this current season of anime, I think it's season 4 or season 5 is airing. Correct me if I'm wrong. They also had some Kaguya volumes, which I'm really surprised they didn't have more of because Kaguya is pretty popular. They don't even have a lot in the Kinokunias I go to, which is really surprising. But as you can see, they also had some JoJo's, some Jujutsu Kaisen, which is nice to see. I do want to finish up Jujutsu Kaisen, or start it actually, because I've heard really good things. They also had some Fly Me to the Moon, some Fire Force. I've heard mixed things about Fire Force, so let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is there as well as some Food Wars. And some Fate Grand Order was there as well with Mosh on the cover. I do know a lot of people who like Mosh, so if you are into her, you can go to the Gardena Book Off, and they do have the manga there. They had some of the Gantz omnibuses as well, and the Full Metal editions of the Full Metal Alchemist manga. They did also have some volumes of Gintama, and again, I had some trouble putting the volume back, which is kind of embarrassing. But it is what it is. And then looking further, they did have some Goblin Slayer, some Godchild next to it, some Gleipnir. Girls Last Tour was also next to it if you saw that. Grand Blue, Dreaming, and Golden Kamui. I've heard some good things about Golden Kamui. It's pretty highly rated, so maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. They did have some Haikyuu as well, as you can see down there. Some Citrus, Children of Whales. They had some Claymore, which I was really excited to see. I do want to start Claymore because I've heard good things about it. The box set is out of print again, so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. They also had some Pretty Boy Detective Club, which is by Nishio Isin. I believe it was $9.50, and retail is about $15, which was a pretty good discount. I actually did think about buying it, but I do need to finish Zaragoto first. They also had some D. Gray Man there, which I've heard good things about. I've heard good things about both Claymore and D. Gray Man, and I'm really interested in reading those. They had The Devil is a Part-Timer manga there. It's actually a light novel, so yeah. They also had some Demon Slayer, some Death Note. I've heard good things about the Death Note manga. I've heard there were some changes towards the end of the anime that I do want to see the difference of. Some Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was there as well. And they also had some Dr. Stone. I did talk about Dr. Stone in one of my earlier manga hauls, so maybe I'll get it. Dorohedoro was there as well, and then more Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And then they also had some Eden Zero over there. And yeah, honestly, this book off does have a lot of stuff that I don't recognize, so sorry if I missed out on what could be your favorite manga and didn't mention it. Banana Fish was there, as well as Bakuman. Berserk singles were there. They didn't have the Berserk omnibuses, which was surprising because that's more common than the singles, I believe, at least in my experience. They had some Bleach, a lot of Bleach actually, and they had some Blue Exorcist as well. They did have all of these copies of the Monogatari series for extremely discounted rates. I believe the light novels usually go for $15, and they were all between $7.50 and $9.50. And then, as you can see, I looked at Boarding School Juliet, which is one of my favorites, as you know. Actually, it might be... No, it's not my favorite romance anymore. That's actually Bloom Into You. They also had some bottom tier Nozaki-kun. I did skip over that volume of Blue Period, which I don't know how, but it was Blue Period Volume 4. They had Call of the Night as well, which I was also tempted to get because it was $7.99 instead of $10. But I do want to read it first digitally before I start collecting it. I have heard good things from the anime and manga readers though, so that's pretty cool. They had a bunch of case closed, and my friend who I was with gave me some after school bitchcraft, and he wanted to be on the video, so I was like, here's your feature. Follow him on TikTok at Tokimekis. Shout out to the boy. And they also had some 20th Century Boys up there, as you can see. And then they had some Angel Sanctuary, Kame ga Kill, which I really want to read because there's no way that it's not better than the anime. I used to really like the anime, but then I watched like my second anime, and yeah, as you can see, we had some trouble putting it back in. They really do pack these bookshelves really tight, so it's sometimes pretty hard to put it back in. They had some XL World over there as well, and then 20th Century Boys is there. Assassination Classroom and Aoharu Ride was also on the shelf, and then a bunch of Attack on Titan. I do want to read Assassination Classroom. I heard it's good, and the manga volume covers look pretty crazy and really colorful, so they look really good on a shelf. So I would think that would be like pretty good. But as you can see, I'm walking over towards the other side of the shelf. It's like fully packed, which is crazy to me. But they had some Komi Can't Communicate, some Konosuba, some Kuroko no Basket, Kakiguri Twin over there as well. And then they had something I thought was funny, Legal Drug, with a leaf on the cover. More Kakiguri over there as well. They had some Zelda, LDK, Log Horizon, which I've heard good things about. I do want to get into it, and I did like how the art looked on the cover, so maybe I'll get into it. Who knows? They had some Land of the Lustrous there as well. I have Volume 1, and I still need to start it, but I did hear that the mangaka is going on another hiatus and that it's almost over, so maybe I'll just wait. They had some Magical Girl Sight as well, which I heard is super edgy, and then next to it was Mayochiki, which I didn't look at. And then they had some Mushoku Tensei here. I've heard good things about it. That's the light novel, of course, and, me being the person I am, I did not know how to put it back on the shelf, unfortunately. And I just gave up and put it back down on the books that were in the bottom. And then looking further, they had some Magasuki, some Magi over there. I heard Magi is one of the better shonen, so I might check it out. Some Mashle was over there as well. And yeah, honestly, with this book off, it's really hit or miss. Shout out to Magic Record, by the way. It's really hit or miss, but they do have a lot of selection compared to the rest of the book offs. So yeah, I would say it's more hits than misses. I also looked at that volume of Moriarty the Patriot, which I do need to finish collecting. Some My Hero stuff up there, My Little Monster. They had the Origairu manga. Me being the person who I am, I still have not finished the light novel, even though I'm almost done with it. I don't know why. Made an Abyss over there, as well as Maisen Ikoku. They had some Gundam and Nichijou Volume 1 next to Naruto. And they also had an NTR manga, which I had to look at. More Naruto, some Boruto over there as well. They had some Nejima, and then Natsume's Book of Friends, which is one of my favorites. I do want to collect all of it, but 26 volumes is a lot, and I'm pretty sure there are more than 26 volumes. Don't quote me on that, though. Nisekoi was also there, as well as Noragami. Noragami does have some interest for me. I did watch Season 1, so I'm curious to see what Season 2 is about, but I might just read it. And then as you can see, they had some One Piece and One Punch Man as well. Orient was up there as well, which I've heard people talk about on MangaTube. And then they had Pandora Hearts Volume 1 and Penguin Drum as well. I really want that Pandora's Hearts box set. It's like one of the best box sets I've seen. It has like metal handles, and like the art is like really high quality on the box set, and it's just like a really, I guess, deluxe box set. But yeah, they had some Parasite and Persona 5 mangas as well, and Platinum End with the nice spines with the glossy effect on it. A bunch of Pokemon adventures or Pokemon manga in general. The Promised Neverland was also there. And then they also had some quintessential quintuplets, which I asked my friend who's a big fan if the manga's good, but he didn't know because he's an anime only. And then looking further, there was some ReZero manga there, some Shaman King omnibuses, Seven Deadly Sins was there as well. I don't think I'll read Seven Deadly Sins or watch it, to be honest. And then I looked up and I saw the Bleach box set up there. It was about $200. I do want to get into Bleach, but I don't think I'll pay for the physicals. I'll probably just read it online. They had some Rurouni Kenshin there, Rosario the Vampire over there as well. They had some Rio singles, which I hadn't really seen before. I've only seen I've never seen them, to be honest. Rent a Girlfriend Volume 2, the greatest manga to ever exist. Sankareya Volume 1. The funny thing about Sankareya is that it was actually one of my first anime that I watched, and I enjoyed it to a good amount. But then as I watched more, I was like, maybe it wasn't that good. They had some Seraph of the End there as well, and then the Slime manga. They always have Slime manga here. They had some Tokyo Ghoul and To Your Eternity next to it, as well as Twin Star Exorcist, which could be my next read. I do want to get into, I guess more shonen stuff, and I heard Twin Stars is pretty good. They also had some Trinity 7, which I was going to pick up, but then I did find something later in the haul that made me scrap that. They also had Testament of a Sister New Devil, which I've heard the light novels are insane. I'll just leave it at that for the description of that. They also had some Snow White and the Red Hair. I hadn't seen this manga before at this location, so that was pretty cool. And they also had the Sleepy Princess and the Demon Castle next to it, but I didn't look at it. Yuki Holder was there, as well as some Vinland Saga and Vagabond. I actually have the first 2 volumes of Vinland Saga, I just haven't read it. I don't know when I'll get to it, but eventually I'll have to, considering the reviews. And then they had some Bokuben We Never Learn to round things out. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of Bokuben. Way of a House Husband and World Trigger was there as well. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, and Witch Hat Atelier. I forgot about Witch Hat Atelier. And XXolic next to it as well. And the Yu-Gi-Oh mangas. But yeah. Another thing that I like about this book off is that they have a bunch of figures here. And as you can see, they had a bunch of Dragon Ball figures. And then some ReZero figures here. They have this section pretty well organized based on the series, so it's pretty easy to see what you want. They also had some Haruhi stuff over there. And then the Sword Art Online section was here. They always have a bunch of Sword Art Online stuff, but I haven't seen it, so oh well. I guess I'm not going to get it anytime soon. They have a Monogatari section always, and it's really cool to see that. And I did look at this Hachikuji because of how big the backpack was. I thought it was pretty ridiculous. But it was $50, so I'll pass on that. Yeah, but they have a bunch of Monogatari prize figures. They had that Monogatari Kiss Shot, which I was gonna get, but then it was $40 and there were some stains on it, so yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. They have a whole section for Idolmaster, as well as a whole section for Love Live next to it. I don't know if I'll ever get into these shows, but they do seem pretty cool. My friend does wish that there were some better Love Life scale figures though, considering how flashy the show is, but it is what it is. I hope she gets what she wants. And then over here were some prize figures that I honestly had no idea what series they were from. They look cool, so there was that. And yeah, looking over at this section, it was more stuff that I didn't recognize, unfortunately. I thought this was this Kotobukiya scale was Yuki Minakami from the Tsubahebe series, but they would never do that. Mikasa Ackerman scale over there, and then some No Game No Life figures. They had some Naruto over here, and then they had a Kaneki figure, which is one of the worst figures I've ever seen. It doesn't even look like him, and I'm pretty sure they were charging like $90 for him. so we definitely weren't going to get that. They had a Miku Good Smile scale figure for $85, as well as the Pop-Up Parade for $70. I'm not sure why you would get the Pop-Up Parade over the scale, but it is what it is. And then over here they had a Monogatari art print of Shinobu, which was pretty cool to see because I had never seen that. But they were charging a pretty penny for it. I think it was like $50, $60 for it. So yeah, I don't think that was really worth it. The store also has a dedicated section to Nendoroids, and they had this working Nendoroid. I did see Season 1, but I didn't see the rest. They had a Persona 5 figure of Morgana for almost $100, and then this Futaba figure was actually insane. The price they were charging for it, $160, is pretty crazy, but she did look brand new, so I guess it's validated, but not really. They also had a Genos for $180, which is crazy to me, and they had this Hatsune Miku Orchestra Nendoroid for $60. It did have missing parts, but I had never seen that Miku figure before, so yeah. They also had a bunch of Q-Pop figures, and honestly I think Q-Pops are really ugly, so I would never buy one. And they also had the Madoka section, very small, with just Mami and Kyoko, but it was good to see that as well. They also had this Homura figure. It's a prize figure for $45. Honestly, if you're paying $45 for a prize figure, you're kind of getting scammed, but it is what it is. And then they had this section with Rimuru and I forgot the guy's name on the left, honestly. It's kind of sad how Slime fell off for me after Season 2 Part 1, but it is what it is. They also had some Milim over there. And yeah, it was a pretty chill figure section. Nothing really caught my eye, unfortunately, but it's always nice to be able to just look at figures because, you know, anime figures are pretty cool in my opinion. They also had some Penguin Drum down there, which was pretty nice to see. That's been there for like almost a year, I think. It's been there since I started shopping there, so yeah. And they also had this Steins Gate figure. And as I looked further in the shop, they also had some Fairy Tail box sets, an Alita box set, some Attack on Titan box sets. They were kind of pricey, so it was what it was, but I did find this. This was like my biggest cop. I found volumes 4 through 8 of Mushishi in Japanese, and I know that I wasn't going to be able to get it in English, and I kind of just gave up on that dream because each volume is like $200. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the Japanese set because they'll look cool on the shelf. And yeah, that's pretty much what we did. That was the cop of the day. And yeah, I was really excited to have those. All right, y'all, so we're back from Book Off, and we got a pretty special haul. I was able to find 5 volumes of Mushishi in Japanese, and the reason that I got these was because the Mushishi volumes in English are kind of like over $100 each, basically. So I've kind of just given up and said, you know, I'm not really going to be able to collect them, but I should be able to get the Japanese versions because they're relatively cheap. And these were $4.50 each, so total came out to about 25 bucks for 5 volumes, a little less than that, but yeah, about $25 basically. And I'm super hyped to have these because the covers are great for them. And yeah, I'm probably gonna get the rest of the series. I think there's 10 volumes, but I'm really excited to have these. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know if you like the narration style videos instead of the live ones, or if you like the live ones better. All right, cool. With all that being said, appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.